Okay, so let's keep going. So I watched a movie with my wife. It was nice. We watched Red Notice. It was pretty fun on Netflix. And so that was, while we were watching that, I just let all of our tech that we had run. And so now we can make some splitters. We can make grain sorters, which is the next level, just to move things all along a little quicker. And then we can also make some logistics. And I think we also unlocked, yep, we unlocked foundation. No, we didn't. Let's unlock foundations. We had this unlocked. So solar panels, we're going to use those. Those are pretty nice. Thermal power. Don't need those yet. So we did unlock some things that we're gonna need. I think we were kind of waiting on some other stuff. Just 50. Let's unlock those. So let's get some things queued up here. And while we're doing that, I wanted to go over. Sorry if this is just a little much. I'm just trying to queued. I need reds. We don't have that unlocked yet. What can I do for my mech upgrades? Let's queue those. Let's queue those up. We did unlock blueprints, so now anything blueprint related can have 300 things in it. That's going to be handy. We can queue that up, even though we're not making these yet, but we're going to. I don't have reds unlocked. Some of the stuff you don't really need right away. So while that stuff's going on, I wanted to take a minute and kind of go over blueprints because they are very handy to be able to, as you need more things, you'll be able to just quickly stamp down a blueprint as we've done here with our mall and get things going. Especially as, and again, this is just the way I play it. It's fun to use a bus system, and we'll go over that later once we start getting things set up. So, what I want to do is, yeah, let's just talk about blueprints. So let's say, and we're going to need to do this soon because the amount of this one smelter is not going to give us all of the iron that we're going to need to get stuff done and made. So we're going to need a lot more of these smelters, and we're going to need more copper. We're going to need coal, and more specifically, we're going to need, let's start making that right here while we're talking about it. We're going to need some more graphite. Graphite's a popular thing in the game. So I'm going to just bring this down. I'm going to assign this smelter to use graphite. And then I'm going to make another chest. So we're going to pull from our coal line and we're going to make, oops, needs power. Let's just connect this to everything else. Maybe add another windmill. It's better. So at least it's getting power. So this is going to make our graphite. I can add the coal that I have in my inventory. Into there. So if we look at, let's just bring this over and sort it. So if we look at our coal, it's going to give us 2.7 megajoules of energy And if we look at our energetic graphite, we're going to get 6.75, so a lot more, over twice as much energy per unit of graphite than we were getting from our coal. So again, I like to have, we talked earlier about, your robot needs food, and this graphite's going to give you a lot more than your coal is. So let's just take that out. This is full, and that's full. So yeah, we're talking about blueprints. Let's kill that. So there's a couple of things you can do with blueprints. You can make your own, and as an example of that, see, I'm near to where I want my bus system to be. Let's go over here, and since we're making belts up here, we can really delete all this stuff. So here's your delete menu. I like using this grid. Hit the plus key on your number pad to make it larger, and then I can just come in here and just delete a bunch of stuff. Now, whatever you delete goes into your inventory, which is fine because I'm gonna use all these belts. It's not a problem. But I want to start a system where I can smelt more than just one line of material. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start planning ahead, start thinking about the future. I'm just going to go ahead and click and drag 4 of these down. And then I know that it just doesn't matter, but let's just say in my mind I'm going to be working with iron. I want to be able to bring the iron in to feed all of my, or the iron ore. And while I'm laying stuff out, I like to label things. So here I'm going to click and then click here so that I know that this coming in is going to be coal, or iron ore. And then I want to deliver this down the line. So there's 2 ways I can do this. I can pass it out the back side or right back out the front side. I'm going to choose this because I can easily double my production line. Oops, I'm out. Let's go get some. Double tap now that we've unlocked flight. So I'm going a little bit faster. You fly a little bit faster than you walk. So I'm going to grab this stack of 50, and I have 11. That's fine for now. I have plenty of belts. I have sorters. I don't have any power poles, so I can come over here to my powers, grab those, put that one back. How am I on chests? I got 13. That's fine. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I got plans for this coal patch soon too, because we're going to need it. Double tap the space bar. And then to land you hit Alt. Ta-da. And that uses energy when you're flying, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to click on this smelters. I'm going to drag another line of 4. So now it's going to be super easy to, I need to bring in coal, and I need to pass that coal out as plates. I'm actually going to add another belt right there because this is going to need an in and an out. So I'm going to, and you can do backwards, I can grab my ore here. I know I said coal just a second ago. And I'm going to exit onto my plates. Let's label this so we know what we're doing. Okay. So this is just how I prep. I know I'm going to have 4, and this is how I want it laid out. So I'm going to click on this to say, hey, you're going to be iron, and you're going to be iron. And then an easy thing to do is to hit X, and I can delete all these. And then I can shift click, and it's going to make a copy of whatever I've clicked on. And then I can just drag it down, and it will automatically re-put everything down, and it's going to assign these as whatever this is, right? And then do it again here, shift click, click and drag. That way I don't have to spend a lot of time manually putting these belts down. Let's give it some power on this side and some power on this side, just to cover everything. So now I'm going to be able to produce a lot more, right? This is 1 per second, so this is 8 per second. That's going to give us a lot of iron. It's going to be able to handle pretty much anything we send into it. And I don't right now care about putting it into a chest, because we're going to make a bus system. At least that's what I'm going to do. We're going to make a bus system to deliver all this stuff down. But while we're here, and I already have this stuff set up and running for iron, I want to make a blueprint of this so I can use it again. So I'm going to hit Control C on my keyboard, and that's going to bring up my blueprint book. And then I'm going to click and drag. Let's go backwards just a little bit. Yeah, I just want to copy. I'm going to click and drag just this little section right here. Okay? And I'm going to click again to set my copy, and then I'm going to give this blueprint some information. And I'm just going to call this bus 8 smelters. Okay, and then we can put a picture in here if we want of, there's different things that you can put in this icon. We got signals that we can put in there. We can put buildings. We can put recipes. Just technology symbols. There's lots of different things that we can put in this picture, so when we see it in our blueprints book, it's just give us a reminder of what it is. But I want to put smelters. Bus 8 smelters. And then I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to click and highlight, Control C. I'm going to click up here and Control V to paste. And if you want, you can put a description in here, but this is going to tell you all the different facilities that are part of this blueprint. And then we're just going to save it. And what that's going to do is put this into your blueprints library. So now, if I escape out of here, I can just hit O, or 0, to come to my blueprints library, and then I just double click on my 8 bus smelter. And then all I got to do is just click it. I stamp that down. My robots are going to put it, they're just going to make it. Easy peasy. So now I can go do some other things. I can come back and I can hit O, and I can do it again. Let's leave a space for power poles because I'm going to need them. And all I did was a shift click to copy that, and then paste it down, and your robots will put it there. So it's a good way to expand quickly your factories. So I have all these down here, but let's say I don't really don't need all of these to be iron, but I am going to need some copper. So I'm going to change this to copper. I'm going to change this to copper plates. And then here's another quick tip. If I click on here and click this X, it'll reset the recipe, and then I can click back in and say, well, what do I want to change this to? Well, I want to make this copper. Now to quickly change the rest of these, all I have to do is mouse over this and then hit the left arrow key or the left caret key, which is next to the M button on your keyboard, to copy the recipe. Then hit the right caret button, which is just to the right of the key that you just pressed. As you mouse over these others, and it will paste that recipe down. So now we very quickly just changed this whole line from iron to copper. Now I want to do the same thing over here, but I want to do coal, and I want to do graphite. So I'm going to pick it. You can pick any one, it doesn't matter. I'm going to change that recipe, and then I'm going to copy it and paste, 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 paste. Bang, done. Now if I really wanted to, like if I know that I really like this setup, and I'm going to use it again in another playthrough, another map, I copy, and then I'm going to grab all this, and then I can make this into its own blueprint so that I don't have to do it 3 times and then go back and reset this to copper and reset this to graphite. I'll just have this done. So that's how blueprints work. Now you can also share blueprints. Let's say I've got a friend. Let's call my friend Tim. Tim's my brother. So I'm going to copy. So let's say I've got this really cool thing for my brother Tim. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into blueprints. I'm going to just click on it once, and I can copy this blueprint, and it's going to copy all this gobbledygook, this code, and I can then paste it to him in an email. I can put it up on Discord. There's other ways that you can, save it off into a text file. Say open up Notepad, and in Notepad I just paste that line, and then I can save that as something, and then I can send him the text file in an email. So there's that way that you can share. Another way that you can share is to go to DysonSphereBlueprints.com. And here you can look at a lot of different blueprints that other people that play the game are sharing with each other. And if let's say I want to look at malls, what kind of other malls are out there? If I type in mall here in my filter, it's going to show me a bunch of other different kinds of malls that people have made. Some of these are early game, some of these are end game, later as you're playing. If you want to use the one that I've used, I believe it's this one. If not, then this one looks like it works fairly well. It's in small chunks. So you'll come into here, you can copy to clipboard, and then back in your game, you can say, hey, I want a new empty blueprint. And then in that blueprint, I'm going to paste what I put in my clipboard, and then I can save that. It's going to save it as mall1, and if I want to see what it looks like, I just double click it, and then it's there. I can rotate it. I can do whatever I want to. And if we look closely, we can see the yellow belt lines. See how they're moving from left to right? That's the flow of the belts. So I know my product's going to have to come from the left, and it's going to deliver out to the right. So I can stamp that down, let my robots do their job. And this person has very kindly labeled these for us, so we know what to deliver into this mall that they've created. Running out of energy. Well, I've got coal. Let's just give it some coal. It's okay, we've been here before. We've been low on energy before. So that's another way that you can look at other people's blueprints. And that's exactly what I did with our starter mall that we've used here. Just look for somebody else's, because I didn't feel like going through the math in my own head. So I'm going to cancel all this. Just going to delete it all. Get my power back up. So that's one way to get blueprints. To use them, to share them. Going to get some more. Should be a bunch of this stuff graphite made now. I could have flown over here, be a little bit faster, but didn't want to use energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Robot, get out. Shift click, control click. Control click. Now you can see it's going a little bit faster, which is what I wanted. Now, another tip, we're talking about blueprints. Oh, cool, we got foundations. We're going to use the blueprint to make foundations right now, after I show you this other tip. So I hit E to open my inventory. I click the sort button, and I got a bunch of junk that I really don't need. I can click on it and hit the delete key, and what it's going to do is it's going to drop it on the ground. It's going to drop that stack of materials or whatever. I'm going to do it again because I don't need wood. This coal I don't really need. I'm going to keep the iron because I need iron. If I need to hand make some of these magnets, I can do that. But in all these, the stone, I don't need it, and my chest is full. I really don't need more. So to get all this, I can also hit, if we look on the right, I can hit control and click. It's going to grab all of that product, and then I hit delete. So now I got the stuff on the ground. I can choose to vacuum it back up if I want to. Like, oof, I really didn't want to do that. My bad. So now I have it again. Or I can click this to erase it all. Like, I really am not going to ever need this. If I need more of this, I can just go to buckets and get them. And it will just straight out delete it. And then I resort to get things all nice and cleaned up in my inventory. So there's a little tip. The other thing I was going to show is, I need to get this going really. I've got stone and I've got iron over here. Stone's being delivered to our mall. But this iron isn't, and I believe I need, let's look at the recipe, hit F. I want to start making some foundations. And to make foundations, I need stone to make bricks, and then I'm also going to need some steel, which is plates. Okay, so we're making plates down here. So real quickly, I'm just going to, yeah, cool, grab this out feed. And I can add a smelter to make, I'm going to assign it, hey, you make steel. Now we got fluid systems. And I'm going to grab my belts, and I'm going to pass this along. And I need to grab it. Oops. Click, click. Now it's going to pick that steel plates, or iron plates. It's going to make steel. And I want this steel to be outputted on a belt. Let's do it this way. Now the reason I'm doing it like this is, let's say I need more. I can't because there's water there. I could easily, expand this belt down and then lengthen this belt as well. And let's say I want to make more steel. Shift click, it copies it, click paste. Now I've got 2 smelters that's going to pick it up. Now I need some power. Right? So now I've got quickly 2 smelters making iron or steel. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into my blueprints and look for, I've got an early game, nope, foundations right here. I can easily make it. I don't have green yet, but we can replace that as we need to. So I'm going to double click this foundations, and I'm just going to stamp it down someplace. Let's just put it here. Who cares? Too close to another facility. Is it this one? Alright, let's get rid of you. We'll try it again. Foundations. Rotate it just a tad. There we go. The robots are going to make it. So this, oh, I might not even had to make those smelters. Looks like, it looks like I just need to pass it all the raw materials. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Where's that? Oh, let's wait for it to be all done. This is where, again, having a mall up there making stuff for you is really handy. Because then I just go grab stuff. Here it is. And okay, next tip coming up. So we'll let this all get built out. Not a problem. So I've labeled this, so I just need iron ore and stone. I'm going to come in here. Let's just do this real quick. I'm going to delete this sorter, and I'm going to add, oops, I need some. Double spaced fly. Go to the mall. Alt to land. So I'm not just using fuel. And I'm going to grab this stack. Is there anything else I need? Oh, I can make sorters now. I forget where sorters are. That's alright. I've got power. I really don't need any machines or miners right now. Okay, I think I'm good. Whoops. Double jump to fly. Because it's a little faster. And then alt to land, space to jump over stuff. So I need to put another sorter here to grab belts, or to grab foundation tiles and put them in my storage. So now, this should be pretty easy. Now I don't even need this steel because I'm making it in my mall or my little factory. So I'm just going to delete them. And if you hit shift while you're deleting, it'll just get rid of that whole line. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to add another, and again, this is where the quote-unquote fun of all this comes in. I really don't want to take away from the plates, because if I need to come back here and grab plates again, I just come grab plates. And I might. So I'm just going to add another miner, and I'm just going to pass it in to there. Nice and easy. Now I need stone. And stone up there is not really being used a lot, so what I can do is I can take another belt from here out of the storage and come I can come here, click the up arrow because I need to go up and over, click the down arrow. Remember how we did the bridge last time? So I'm just going to bridge over there, and this is going to get built, and I need to pull out of here. There we go. Now it's going to start feeding into here. So if you look through this real quick, you can see that, and it's pretty well ratioed. If I look at my foundations, I need 3 steel every 3 seconds. So I basically need 3 steel, because it's going to make 1 foundation per second. It needs 1 steel. 1 steel needs 3 plates per second. So I kind of have this mathed out, because this is creating a plate every second. So I've got smelters feeding smelters, and then I've got my stone bricks. Everything's mathed out. Now I'm just out of energy. But we're starting to make foundation tiles, and we're going to use those here in a little bit. But I really need more energy, so we're going to fly back over here to our coal vein, and I want to start producing more energy than these silly little turbines can produce. So we have thermal power plants that we've unlocked from our technology tree. And a thermal plant's super easy. Let's just stamp it down here, who cares? And what that's going to do is it's going to take fuel in, a fuel source, and it's going to generate electricity based on that fuel source. So we'll take a simple miner. Let's grab a lot, and then we're going to run a belt out of it. Simple coal, zip it around. Let's have this go down a ways. We can always delete belts and stuff later. And then I want to pick up coal and feed it into my thermal power plant. So we can then click on it, and as it picks up power, it's going to start producing 2.16 megawatts. Well, how much is this wind turbine producing? 300 kilowatts. So is that 5-6 times more power per unit? Generation capacity is 3. So yeah, that's gonna make a lot more power. And if we hit the P button to go back into our power, we can see that we're starting to generate a lot more power. Now I can shift click. Oh, I don't have any more. I think it's time to upgrade our mall. Let's upgrade our mall. Let's look at paint. Did I not copy? Oh, it's in Discord. I don't want to save that, but I want to go to Discord. Because I have a picture of this from when I had used it before. So this is going to tell us the next thing to the right of our power windmills is going to be our power plants, then our sorters. So let's go ahead and let's assign this our thermal power plants, and then the next one was our splitters, Splitters, and then after splitters is our chest, which I already have, and then this is water pumps. Do I have those unlocked yet? I do. So we can assign water pumps to that. And then here, because water pumps need electric motors, let's assign this one to electric motors. Now I also need electric motors to pass this next thing. So what I'm going to do does this not have, this is not passing those motors into here. So we found a problem with our plan that we had. It's all right. But I want to grab some of those motors out of there while it's making them. So this motor is going to give to the water pump, and it's going to put in our chest. But I don't need a ton. Just give me a stack. So we'll let that run. Let's look at let's see what else we can assign our empties to. So we have, what is this, oil refineries? I don't have oil yet, but I do have counters, and I do have water tanks. I think that's all. I can start making these. These are just subcomponents of other products. I think I make triangles. I don't know what they're called. Triangles, plasma exciters, and prisms. So it's pulling in, it's making prisms, and then prisms are used to make our plasma exciters, and those are used for other things, which we have not unlocked yet. That's fine. So we can see here that our chest is starting to collect some more thermal power plants. I'm going to grab those. I'm going to grab these splitters while I'm sitting here. I don't really need a water tank right now. I don't need fluid tanks. These counters I'm not going to mess with just yet. Oh, this is grabbing up all the gears. That's okay. Because I have what I need. I just wanted to come put some more of these power plants down. So I'm going to, now that I know I have them, shift click to copy it, paste it, paste it. Let's put another one down, paste it. So they're going to pick up and start generating power for me. Awesome. Hit P. Yeah, we're making lots of power now. And you can just keep doing that. I mean, this one miner is going to get to a point where it's not going to be able to supply all of the, if I kept going down, I'm eventually going to consume more than I'm producing. So you can add more. That's going to be based on a couple things, but you can add more miners to help out. But what I want to do is double jump. I want to start connecting all the power everywhere. Get everything on the same grid. And I'm just using Tesla towers where I can. And then if I look at my power, bang, everything's blue. It's exactly what you want. You want everything blue all the time. So it's running at peak efficiency. So there you go. There's some tips. And while we're making these, let's just grab this stack. I got 258 foundations. So what you can do with foundations, I can start filling in some of this water and areas. So I'm going to come down here to the 9, our environment modifications. And I got some information here. I can see how many foundation tiles I have. I can mess with this for veins, and I'll show you how that works. I can decide how, as I'm laying foundations, how I want that to look. So if I pick this, I can say, I got a couple of options. I think this is just white steel, how I want it to look, or kind of a pattern. I can have no decorations. And then I've got my soil pile, and this is really important. I can only modify the terrain if I have soil and foundations. So let's play with this just a little bit. Let's look at our foundation tiles. If I look at this one, and I just stamp it down, thank you, milestones. I can look at what that pattern is going to be. The more I do it, it's just going to look like this. Now let's do this one for a grid and see what it looks like. Just straight, flat, concrete looking. So it's totally up to you. And let's do it again with no decoration. It's just going to flatten that area and leave it as the world is. So it's totally up to you how you want to proceed with these tiles. If you want to have a cool pattern, if you just want concrete world, or if you just want to grass it over. I kind of like this. So that's the pattern that I typically go with. And this grid that you have can be adjusted in size using the minus or plus key on the next to the number pad. However, the larger the grid, this is a 10 by 10, so this is going to use 100 of my soil and my tiles. So if I stamp that down, one, I got a nice cool grid pattern. It's flattened the world. It's used some foundation and it's used some soil. Now I can earn soil, I can gather soil. Let's grab some more. By flattening areas that are slightly raised. And you can see that here. See how the terrain is just a little bit bumpy right there? I can pick that soil up if I stamp this down. See, I gained 1,000 soil, or 572 soil. I know I'm going to need soil because I'm going to have to fill in water. See, it tells me it's going to consume 7,000 soil if I stamp this down. And sure enough, it did. It's raised, it's filled in all that water, but I'm using tiles, I'm using soil to fill that in. So what I tend to do first is go and level down all the areas that are raised to give me a larger stockpile. This is going to infinitely just keep making until this chest is full. It's just going to keep making foundation tiles for me. So I let that run and do its thing. Everything seems to be picking up and processing just fine. I do think I have some extra. I don't need to feed. If I look at this, I can see that this sorter is picking up from my iron and trying to put into my brick, which isn't needed, so I can delete those. It's a flaw in my blueprint. So yeah, you can just let that run. Just let that run. Let's say, let's go pick up some more of this graphite from my robot. Keep it fed. If I hit C, I can see that I'm using graphite. I've already down a stack. And I want more, so this is running just fine. It's kind of slow. But that's okay. I don't need this much every second or every minute. I just need a few. Because if you're not doing anything and your power's full, your robot's not going to keep using it. It's just going to stop producing energy. So those are some tips. That's how to use blueprints. That's how to quickly copy things, how to change some stuff around. We're using mini malls. We're generating more power. We've talked about foundations and how to use those. And you can change your foundation. You don't have to keep using this tile. Let's say you want to section things off and start saying, well, I want to use a different pattern here. Oops, I don't have it. I want to change it, so now it's going to look like this. You can make your world look however you want. Cool. One thing we didn't talk about was, let's grab some more of these. Let's say this copper node's, this vein's kind of in my way. I can use the vein bury tool so that when I click on this, it doesn't delete it out of the game. It just hides it so that I can use this space. You see this information here is saying that this vein is still here. We're just suppressing it so that I can use this space if I need to put down storage or do some things. If I want to show it again, I click restore, click down, and now I can harvest this again. So that's how you use that. Tim had some questions about that last night. All right, so that's how you do some of those tips and tricks.